Last time on Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. I'll throw a protractor! Ah! Protractor attack. My bracelet's still reacting. Your Honor, I am aroused. Please allow me to continue. That was odd. Hey guys, Ryden here, and welcome back to Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. So I'm sorry for that sudden cutoff at last moment. I had something to do that came up almost instantly as I ended the video, so that's why we're starting with Judge mid-sentence. How could you even cut me off like that, Zeno? That's kind of a dick move, really. I'm sorry, Judge. I'm sorry, Judge. You can just do your thing. Alright then. Was someone commanding another to press this switch? Oh no. Okay. So, I'm also using a new setup in which I use a controller. To figure out some of these buttons real quick. Oh, there we go. That's the button I had to push. It's a possibility. Oh? I still can't get used to Clavier's actual voice. There are so many characters that if given voices, I wouldn't even recognize half of them. Like, if you gave the Radiant Dawn casts, if it was fully voice acted, by the time I played Radiant Dawn, I have already broken those characters. It is far too late. Oh, our forehead, I'd call that an impossibility. Why? It's hardly necessary for me to remind the court of the layout of the concert form. The stage is quite far from Lamoire's dressing room. Not to mention that the Gaviniers were in the middle of a concert on said stage. We aren't known for being a quiet band. You could shout all you wanted and not be heard. The detective's voice was loud, but certainly not a shout. I too have Air Forehead's cries of possibility. I too have her forehead's cries of possibility fallen far short of being heard. Damn, got him again! Clavier, I should just hire you as my personal ironer so you can burn everybody. Thank you, Judge. We'll meet after court. Sorry, but he wouldn't have needed to shout. Excuse me? You heard what I said. Or do you need me to shout it out for you? It would have been quite simple to be heard from on the stage from that dressing room. Oh wait, you like evidence, don't you? How about this? It would be easy to get a message to someone on stage from the dressing room. Oh, the transceiver, duh. The guitar! The headset. Oh, that's the check button. Oh, there you go. There's present. I got it. I did it. I'm good at the game. Prosecutor Gavin, perhaps you're familiar with this. Why that's... What is that fancy piece of technology? It's called an earpiece, Judge. Is that some kind of newfangled phone they invented while I wasn't looking? Well, you got it. You got it sorta right, dude. Who is this dude? Expel him from my court immediately. This is the type of transmitter, a communications device. Communication device? From what I've heard that night, everyone on stage was wearing one of these. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Well, I forgot mine. They're for talking between the band members. We all had one on. So you admit that if you were wearing one of these, talking from backstage to the stage would be simple. Objection! I don't like his actual voice at all. It's so weak for his character. True, but wait, those send out an electronic signal. To avoid interference with the audio systems, their range is quite limited. Lamar said it was about 30 feet, right? Look at this cross-section diagram of the concert forum. I can't believe I overlooked that one. Exactly, they walk from the stage to the The walk from the stage to the backstage seems far. But the direct distance is less than 30 feet. No, you're lying. You're a liar. La, can't hear you. I can't hear. That's a really grown-up way to be acting, Clavier. Doesn't matter how I act, I'm a rock star. That can't be. So when Lamoire heard the shooter's voice, he could have been talking to someone on stage? You're claiming this switch is in question? Why did it have to be on the stage at the time? It could be placed in a pocket and carried anywhere. Someone could have hit it on the stage after the fact. Yeah, he's got a point. How do we know where it was when she heard the voice? When the shooter said press the switch. Well, I guess we don't. Oh, an unfortunate situation. I'm afraid that until we know where the switch was, there's little point in debating it. I was sure that this was the way to go. with this. That's a weird way to say it. What is this switch anyway? What does it do? Let me push it. Just activates a bomb in the middle of the court. We don't even know that basic fact. Wait a second. I do know what this switch is. And if you follow that train of logic to its incredible conclusion, it ends up in proof that completely changes this case. What's up, Apollo? Apollo, you're just staring at your desk again. Do I need to get Daddy again so he can just like crack your back or something? We know about this switch, right? We know what it is. Yeah, I guess. Well, think of when it was used that day. Think of what happened. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further information to share concerning this switch, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Justice? I've been remiss in not telling the court this before. I know what this switch is. Huh? Well, it seems the defense is set upon linking the switch to the case. Let's see your evidence of the link. What evidence do you have to explain what this switch is? Would it be the igniter or the broken guitar? I mean, the igniter would make much more sense. Prosecutor Gavin, you remember this? That's that... What? Is it another one of those newfangled phones? This is an igniter. What phone looks like this? An igniter? You mean like a lighter? Yes, actually. You aren't saying this switch is a remote? I am. This is a remote trigger for an igniter. What? Look, I'll show you. Look, I'll show you. Let me push it here. Yow. Mr. Justice, you will cease and desist from burning down this courtroom. No, burn it more, Apollo. Burn it all down. Your dad really needs to have a talk with you, huh, Trucy? What do you mean? He enjoys this kind of stuff, too. Sorry, that was a bit more fire than I'd expected. If my whiskers had caught on fire... Prosecutor Gavin, let me repeat myself. This switch is a remote igniter trigger. Doesn't that suggest something to you? You're talking about what happened to me, aren't you? Ah. Exactly. That night at the concert, there was one unusual burst of flame. When your guitar caught on fire in the middle of your performance. Oh, that was just because my mixtape's too hot. Don't even make that joke! What part of that wasn't... Wait, what? Wasn't that part of the stage show, though? Prosecutor Gavin was entirely unaware such a thing had been planned. And the guitar that burned was a valuable keepsake. That's right, he got it in Virginia from Lamoire. He said the sound was amazing before it burned, of course. Now it just kinda smokes. Thanks for reminding me, Trucy. That didn't even hurt at all. The better the guitar, the brighter it burns. There, forehead. Yes? Don't tell me you're trying to tie those two things together. Those being the shooter's voice heard by Lamoire, and the guitar suddenly catching on fire. I am. It's really simple when you think about it. Mr. Latouche and the shooter were at the crime scene. The shooter was wearing a headset. He ordered someone on stage to press the switch. The switch was pressed and the guitar caught fire. Well, that does seem to make sense. Though, something about it is bugging me. I can't quite put my finger on it. Apollo, whatever it is, you're probably wrong, and Clavier is probably already thinking of proving you wrong, so let's just get on with that part. Really, it seems pretty simple to me. There, forehead. Don't destroy what little respect I have for you. I was expecting something a little more sensible. I guess I was wrong. What's this all about? His simple story makes no sense whatsoever. Think, that night my guitar caught fire, yes. That... He just starts crying all over his desk. God damn it, I have enough cleaning your handprints off the walls. Now I need to clean your tears from my courtroom. Or I could collect them in a jar and sell them on eBay. Huh. The cause may have been this indeed. However, the guitar caught fire during the second set. That's right, of course! What's right? I'm actually lost as to what he's talking about. The guitar caught fire during L'Amour song. Indeed, yet the shooting happened during the third set. The two are utterly unrelated. Oh, yes, that was it. That's what was bugging me, I understand. The whole premise for this is faulty. See, his story makes no sense. Are you sure about that? What exactly do you mean, Mr. Justice? Maybe it's not the premise for my explanation of the switch that's at fault. Maybe it's our premise for the entire case so far. What premise is this specifically? I'm glad you asked. Oh god, now he's gonna talk again. I'm saying that maybe the killing didn't take place in the third act. God damn it, stop cueing his music! If you cue his music, he's gonna win the case! I'd like to think that's how it happens. Like, there's no speakers in the courtroom. Nobody's in control of courtroom audio and music just starts playing. He's like, damn Apollo, I thought Phoenix's was pretty good, but you had me going. What's this? But Detective Emma Skye heard shots and found the body. All this happened in the third act. Gunshots rang out. And according to his testimony, Maki was in that dressing room at the time. Where are you going with this, Mr. Justice? Stay with me, Your Honor. He also told us this in his testimony. Namely, the victim had already been shot. We all heard the gunshots, but no one saw the shooting. This is insane. Just before the shooting took place, the shooter was heard on his headset, telling someone to press the switch. The next moment, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flame. We know what a remote-triggered igniter was inside the guitar. Or we know that it was inside the guitar. From all these facts, we can draw only one conclusion. The crime did not take place during the third act, but during the ballad performance, the second act. Ugh. Oh, it actually plays a little guitar noise when he's damaged? I'm not really sure if I'm going to count that as damage. Damn it, Apollo just cross-countered me. He knocked me down, then OTG'd me. Yeah, for those of you who don't know fighting games, none of those terms are going to make any sense, but hey, just go with it. What? Order! That was a sick jump cancel, Apollo. But that goes against the evidence. What does, Your Honor? What do you mean jump canceling isn't allowed in court? This crime was carried out according to the lyrics of that song, yes?
Hey, he's right, look. The bullet is supposed to come after the fire.
You're thinking about it the wrong way.
Huh?
Look, why would the shooter craft the events of the day to follow the lyrics anyway? It's an awful lot of trouble to go through, with little merit for the person doing it. Well, I'm sure whoever it was had some reason. Yes, they did. A reason that made it advantageous to follow the lyrics. You're saying the order was reversed on purpose? Oh, reverse, Prosecutor Gavin? If the criminal followed the lyrics strictly, then yes. The shooting would have had to come after the guitar burst into flame. Yet Air Forehead has raised another possibility. He's claiming that the bullet did not come after, but just before the fire. Couldn't have put it better myself. We were only meant to think that the shooting came after the guitar burst into flame. That was the criminal's objective. The crime followed the lyrics to a point, but that was to the ruse. Miles with the killer risked discovery by moving the body.
I'm just lying up here.
Wait, no, what kind of voice did I even give Maki? I gave him like a very somber, like,
oh, excuse me, is anyone here? Is anyone here? Oh, sir, can you help me? Your hand's kind of cold. Is that a guitar?
That was the final touch to make us think he'd followed the lyrics the whole way. Order, order, order. Order has to be like one of the most said words by the judge. I mean, it makes sense, but I feel like he just says it a bit too much. That would explain this most unusual situation. It does. The killer changed the order of events to create himself an alibi. In other words, UGLY, you ain't got no alibi. Oh god, Apollo, this is gonna get copyrighted, isn't it? Yeah, you should probably stop. The killer was someone who had an alibi for the third set, but not the second. Oh no, he stopped the music by hitting a wall. The speakers were in there the whole time. I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but sadly it has. Let me tell you why your little fairy tale makes no sense at all. Oh? Well, here we go. Something different, I guess, Clavier. Let's hear it. Oh, it sounds good. Wait, oh, it sounds good, I'll give you that. You've given us a reason why the killer bothered following the lyrics of my song. But I question your logic, for it's flawed from the very beginning. Flawed? Yes, a contradiction in her forehead, one I pointed out several times, no less. At the time of the crime, the small window at the scene was closed. How could Lamour have heard a voice through it? Oh. I know if you would like to divert our attention from the critical fact. But if you're basing your entire line of reasoning on a false premise... Right. Lamour's testimony is my entire case. That voice she heard, the shooter's voice.
What if she couldn't hear it, Apollo?
Trucy, shut up, like you have anything to say. Oh. Look, what do we have? A man saying press the switch. And near the crime scene, we have a switch, which acts as a remote trigger for an igniter. And last but not least, Prosecutor Gavin's flaming guitar. It can't all be coincidence, but how do I make it work? I see a more direct line of questioning is required. When the crime scene was investigated immediately after the crime, that window was closed. Care to tell us how Lamour heard the voice? A key point, to be sure. Mr. Justice, can you explain this to the court? Okay, Justice, you got one thing to prove, one thing only. Lamour heard a voice, and she heard it during the second set. How was Lamour able to hear the voice? She has divine hearing. Oh, Lamour, please lend us your holy ears.
You're kind of creepy, Apollo. Please get away from me. Strange lawyer man.
She was somewhere else. The window was open. Well, I mean, is there anything that goes against the window being open? I mean, she could have been where Maki was. I feel like the window was open is a way too simple thing for an Ace Attorney game. Let's say, I doubt she would have lied, but she is blind, so she could have said anything. When we investigated the crime scene, the window was closed. The shooter had no reason to close it, had it been open either. Meaning it was impossible to hear the voice through that window. It's good to hear you're making sense again. For a moment, I was afraid you might be a Borginian too. What? Clavier, are you being racist right now? Yeah, all those dumb Borginians, they never understand a damn thing about us.
Clavier, I'm still here in court.
Yeah, I'm talking specifically about you. Like, I know that's supposed to be, like, oh, they don't speak our language, but I think that didn't translate over well. I was afraid you were just like all those other idiot Borginians. As I was saying, Lamour could not hear the voice through the window. So there can be only one voice. Okay, just went on by itself. She heard the voice from another location entirely. What's this? You two amuse me so. And here I thought you had a good here I thought you and Good Sense were back on speaking terms. Now I'm afraid you and Good Sense speak two entirely different languages. Shall I interpret for you, Air Forehead? Lamour clearly stated she heard the voice through that small window. and there's only one small window at the scene. Are you sure? Think about it. Isn't there another small window at the scene?
There is.
Oh, I know that look. He wants us to ask him. This is what Phoenix does every time. He's like a little kitten. He just wants attention. And then you go, okay, Phoenix, what do you have to say? And then he smiles, and then everyone goes home, and there's happiness and rainbows. Very well. You claim Lamoire heard the voice from another location. Mr. Justice, show us where this location was. Lamoire heard the voice from here. From here? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so there's two things that are running through my mind. A, she was in the air vent with Maki somehow. Or B, she was looking through this piece of glass and it's actually a two-way mirror from the other dressing room? I don't know. I really honestly don't know on this one. Here. Does this look like a small window to you, Mr. Justice? The state of modern society can be read from numerous objects and artifacts. Okay, Apollo, where is this going? In a sense, anything can be a window on our society. I didn't ask you to point out a window on society. I want a window on a crime scene. Jeez. What was that? No points for trying. For hair forehead, you tried to look cool, but in the end you just sounded like a college student talking out of their ass. Lamoire claims she heard a voice through a small window. And if the small window we know about was closed, there's only one other thing she could have meant. I honestly have no other idea, so we're just gonna go with the air vent idea. What? Was the air vent wrong? But that was the air vent. Alright. Come. Okay, this is as high as the pointer can go, so I'm just gonna hope this is right. Oh, thank goodness. This is where Lamoire heard that voice from. But that's no small window. That's the air vent. Yeah, I mean, the reason I was kind of against that line of logic is just because... it's probably because I'm too trustworthy and Lamoire could be hiding something. But from my view, Lamoire could not have, like, accidentally climbed up in the window and be like, oh, I just... It looked like a window and it looked like the hallway. I was really close, wasn't I? Don't you normally have to climb up ladders to get into hallways? What did she tell us? She said she's a Virginian unfamiliar with our language. It's not a stretch to imagine she called this air vent a small window. Oh, that's a different logical conclusion? I wouldn't have ever thought of it that way, but okay. Now you've done it. You've gone beyond ridiculous and into ludicrous. So Lamoire was up in the ventilation system listening to this man's voice. That's the only logical explanation, yes. Logical? I do not think this word means what you think it means, Air Forehead. Okay, what about it isn't logical? It hardly merits saying. Why would Lamoire be in the ventilation system? Hiding like a rat, no offense intended to her, of course. The explanation for that is simple, Prosecutor Gavin. Isn't it, Lamoire? You have been listening to our discussion here, yes? Yes. I admit, it had me quite confused since yesterday. Yes, the small window was closed. But why would that mean I could not hear through it? I feared our prosecutor might need an interpreter. Ugh. The problem here is words. Lamoire, the small window through which you heard the voice was up high on the ceiling of the room, not low on a wall? Yes, it was up on the ceiling. What? This is stupid. Why am I even here? I could go home and have a million women just touching my chest. Or you could go home and have me touching your chest, Clavier. Oh, I'll save a reservation for you in the VIP seat, Judge. I'm starting some very weird fanfics. If this ever becomes a thing, that would be terrifying to me. I already had someone, what was it? From the Path of Radiance playthrough, I made a joke about Hector and Jill, and I was like, yeah, that's a weird OTP, and someone's like, I've started writing a fan fiction about it, Zeno, and that worries. It doesn't worry me. I actually kind of find it funny in a way. But anyways. Witness, you will clarify this statement to the court. Clarify what? Are you in fact saying that you were up above in the ceiling of the room? And that's where you heard the moment of the crime? Yes, in fact I was. I am so sorry, I never imagined it could become such an important point. Yes, well, why the heck were you up there? It's a good question. I believe it's time for another testimony. I'm not sure I can't. No, you can't just say I can't. May I remind you this is a murder trial, we will hear your testimony. Tell us why you witnessed the crime scene from above the ceiling of that room. Please. Oh, well, I guess you said please. Well, looks like I'm on the right track. Yeah, that's a general thing in this game. If they're hiding something, you're on the right track. Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice. Oh. What is that? It looks like some sort of, like, monster in the air vents. Like, you will be next. I am the air vents lurker. Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice. I had heard there was a small window there before. I'm not even talking to her voice. It was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I had heard. As to why I was there, I cannot say. I am bound to secrecy on this matter. No, you aren't. It's the goddamn court. Bound to secrecy? In my line of work, one has many obligations to uphold. But you say you were in the middle of your performance. So this happened during this... Oh, she's talking about the magic trick. The magic trick leads her to the air vents of the... Oh, that's why. And, oh, when she gets back down... No, I bet that's what... No, because she came up on the other part of the stage. Oh, I get it now. So, when Clavier threw the whole cloth thing and did the magic trick, she was climbing through the air vent when she heard the voices to get to the other part of the stage for her magic trick. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I can't believe I didn't piece that together in my mind until just now. So this happened during the second set? I did not witness the crime, you must understand. I only know what I had heard. Yes, but you must tell us what you were doing in detail. That's what the cross-examination is for, yeah, her forehead. Actually, I'd kind of rather prefer if they told the truth. Our mission in this court is to discern the truth. No obligation, no binding pact may hinder that mission. Very well. Well, Clavier, it looks like you know what it took, like, Phoenix Wright 2 games to figure out, so good on you. Good job, Clavier. You get a sticker. Ooh, I hope it's one with a star on it. Sorry, I'm out. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
What are you gonna do, Apollo?
I'm going to find out the truth. She was up above that ceiling for a reason. I just have to get it out of her. Yeah. Above the ceiling. Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice. I had heard there was a small window there before. It was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I had heard. As to why I was there, I cannot say. I am bound to secrecy on this matter. I'm always bound to secrecy. It's going to take some hard-hitting proof to make her talk. I think I know why she was up there, but how do I prove it? Would I just present Gramrai's face on the correct statement? Because I feel like that's the answer. I don't know though, because usually you don't just present profiles too often. So it's kind of a touchy one that I don't really know how to approach. Do we have any specific evidence that states otherwise? Oh, he gave us the videotape. I don't know how to... Taped recording of Lamore's performance. Touch the check button for details. Oh, I don't want to watch it right now, no. But, you know, actually, yeah, let's watch it. Sugar, sugar, blah, blah, blah. My guitar's catching on fire. Oh no, I'm just doing it over and over again. I don't want to listen to this song. Just skip forward to the part of the... Apollo, are you playing a videotape in the middle of the court section? Shut up, Judge. This is the best part. Let's try the videotape, because that sounds about a million times more plausible than anything else. There. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Ah, damn it. You sure about that? Objection overruled. Try to think before you make accusations, Apollo. Oh, look, you're almost dead. It'll be your first time dying in this game if you do it now. That didn't go so well. So without a word, you just let the third set start? After the curtain closed for the second set, there was too much to do. You could have prevented this whole misunderstanding if you had only told us sooner. Yes, perhaps I could have. I see little point in badgering the witness. What's done is done. The mind works differently when one is in the middle of a performance. Why, I've lost my voice in the middle of a show and kept on singing completely unaware. Singing without a voice? If only all contradictions were so obvious. If only I could get Lamore to talk. Pressuring her like this doesn't seem to be getting me anywhere. Yeah, that's correct, Apollo. We're not really getting much further. As to why I was there, I cannot say. Oops. Why not? Why can't you say? You heard the gunshots during the second set during your performance. You're quite sure? Yes. Why would I lie about it at this time? Why didn't you tell us yesterday? I mean, between you and Maki, I think you've lied more times than anyone else has in this entire game. No one asked me. I thought you all knew. I told you Maki was not the killer. I told you this many times. Yes, you did. But you never told us why. I am so sorry. I was not able to speak of it. Unable or unwilling?
She's not talking, Apollo. What do we do?
We'll just have to prove it ourselves. As long as she's bound by this pact of silence, she won't talk. But if I can prove why she was up there, she'll have to admit it.
But how are you going to do that? She was singing on stage, Apollo. She couldn't have been up above the ceiling, too.
Yes, she could. I've got a theory as to... Okay, so I think we had to present the videotape, but I just presented it on the wrong part. It has to be this part. I've got a theory as to why, too. And maybe I've got the evidence to prove it. Alright, let's try this again. Maybe I presented it on the wrong one last time. Here, try this. Now it works? I think I presented the videotape on the wrong one last time, and that's why it didn't work. Lamore, truth be told, the reason for your presence above that ceiling is quite clear. Especially when you consider what happened during your performance. What happened? Yes, it was all right here on this video. Oh, you can... If you look inside his guitar, you can see it start catching on fire during the side part right there. I didn't notice that. Yeah, if you look closely, you can see the flare from the igniter, and it's like a light burning inside. I didn't see that before. I mean, I understand why they did it this way, and it helps with the case to make it in this weird 3D, but I think they should have just came up with some weird 2D aesthetic that they could have done for it. Like a bullet of love, fire, take my life away, all away. Can I skip this? I know what's happening here. I've seen it a million times. Oh, you can see Clavier in the background there just fanning his guitar like, no. Why isn't anyone helping me? Why isn't anyone helping me? As we can see, Lamoire was clearly not on the stage for her entire performance. Oh! Though it saddens me to be so realistic, Lamoire is incapable of actually vanishing, let alone teleportation.
What do you mean I'm not? Bitch, come over here and tell me that.
So, the only explanation is that she was hidden from view. And during that time, she moved to the back of the forum.
Apollo!
What, Trucy?
It's not nice to reveal a magician's secrets, and it's against the rules.
But I'm a lawyer, I'm not supposed to be nice. This is all very fascinating. But how is it possible? There's only 20 seconds between when she disappears and reappears. How could she have moved that fast? Clavier already knows. He's like, shit. Apollo just messes up. Is something wrong, Gavin? You're kind of sweaty. This was his concert, his show. He knows how the illusion was performed. Aha! He's just realizing his own oversight. Oh wow, Apollo, you have him on lockdown today, don't you? Let's look at the cross-section diagram again. Here we can trace a route through the ceiling. Whoa! How in the world does she climb up that thing, though? Is there a ladder inside of there? I don't know about her, but I'm way too claustrophobic. I could never do that. Plus, I guess if I ever performed, I would be using a guitar, and I wouldn't want any dumb stage antics like that. It goes from the stage, through the backstage, to the rear of the forum. Oh! Recall Lamoire's testimony from yesterday.
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it.
She went from the stage to the backstage exit. A perfect description of this route above the ceiling. Yes, Your Honor. Lamoire knew of this because it's part of her illusion. Or it was because of her part in the illusion, not her illusion. But she wasn't the only one who knew. What? Just now in the lobby, Maki told me something. I know if I opening the vent, I can leave the stage and backstage. He said that? Oh, were you not informed, Prosecutor Gavin? I knew about the Vanishing Act, of course. That instant idea of like, what do you mean they don't use real magic to get us back there? What? Yet I had no idea the route that would be used. Why didn't that magician tell me?
Magicians only reveal details of their acts on a need-to-know basis. They're the bread and butter of a magician's life, you know.
Which is why he bound Lamoire to secrecy. Well, Lamoire?
I am impressed, Mr. Attorney. Maki was right about you.
So, what does this mean exactly? Are you saying you use this route above the ceiling?
I did.
Well, that's that, but I'm still a little confused. Why is that, Your Honor? As I said before. Yeah, I don't see how this little fact is really going to help us in the case. Because, I mean, it shows where Lamoire is. It also shows another route. But could Darian... Because I'm just assuming it's him. I mean, how is it not going to be him? But if Darian climbed down there during his performance, wouldn't someone see him? Was that his route into that room for whatever reason? That's a good question. Can the witness explain this to the court? Oh goodness, I was so busy talking to myself, I didn't even realize that something was going on screen.
I cannot.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Yes? It's all up to you. Do your thing. What thing, Your Honor? You know, solving the crime case. That thing you do. I can't do it. I just sit up here and pound my gavel, and eat whatever snacks I have behind my desk. You need to explain how Lamour was able to teleport like she did. Or I'm throwing your case out with the bathwater. Why do I get picked on? It's Lamour who isn't going along with the program here.
I have stated before, I am not at liberty to speak of the illusion that night in detail.
Then you'll just have to tell us what you can. We'll hear your testimony on this. Mr. Justice, it'll be your job to wring the truth out of her.
Yes, if you would, please, wring my truth out.
Right. I feel like a student before finals. I know that feels too hard, Apollo.
Good luck, Apollo.
Well, Trucy, what do you even do?
What do you mean, what do I do? The same thing Maya did. I just stare at you and say things every once in a while. I'm just here to look cute, really.
I followed the route exactly as I was instructed.
There was an emergency exit in the backstage where a stagehand waited. From there, one can enter the forum on the opposite side from the stage. The plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes. I was on my way when I heard the voice.
Heard what voice for what? 2 minutes, you say. The mystery deepens. I suppose it was too much to hope that the judge would come up with something. As does my curiosity. Take it away, Mr. Justice. I want to see something where the judge actually contributes something to the court, like something huge. I don't know if there's a case in the series in which the judge solves something crucial that everyone is forgetting about. Once again, Capcom, we need a game where we play as the judge. It would just be like, stop getting distracted, keep on focus. Right, Your Honor. All I have to do is find the contradiction between what Lamour is saying and what we can see plainly in the video.
I figured it out already. I'm a magician after all.
Well, tell me.
Not a chance. I can't reveal another magician's secrets. Come on! Even if it has to do with a dead person!
Oh my god, Trucy. I was just talking about how you weren't useful at all, and now you're just... Hey, you're supposed to be on my side here. The big illusion.
I followed the route exactly as I was instructed. There was an emergency exit in the backstage where a stagehand waited. From there, one can enter the forum on the opposite side from the stage. The plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes. I was on my way when I heard the voice. The contradiction between Lamour's testimony and the video. Unraveling an illusion can't be so different from solving a normal case, right? So sorry, Apollo. I'm not telling, not even if you make those puppy dog faces.
Trucy, people died.
So?
I guess I'll just press her on that, because that doesn't really make sense. I have nothing to prove her otherwise except for the videotape in which she clearly did not get there in 2 minutes. But, like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't think I'd want to present the same evidence again. Yeah, there's no way you're gonna make it there in it didn't take 2 minutes at all. There's something wrong with that statement. 2 minutes?
Yes, it can be done in 1 minute if you are running.
Running? In that cramped dark tunnel above the ceiling?
Haha, Mr. Attorney, have you forgotten? Dark or lit, it makes no difference to me. I am the knight.
Oh, okay, yeah, she's blind. I almost forgot about that, actually. We haven't talked about it in so long. That's true, but... So you're saying that on the night of the concert you made the trip in 2 minutes?
Yes, though I nearly didn't make it in time. You see, I stopped halfway.
Lamour disappears on the video for 20 seconds. But if she says she made the trip in 2 minutes, how?
You want my professional opinion? I'll bet the answer's right there in that video.
Well, Mr. Justice, perhaps you have some evidence for us, something that can explain the discrepancy between the video and her testimony? Evidence explaining the discrepancy. Yeah, discrepancy. I don't like saying that word. It's not a fun word to say. I do have evidence. There's one piece of evidence that explains the discrepancy between the video and the testimony. I didn't think this through. It's all over. Oh no, this is not a good. This is not a good at all. I don't know. No matter how many times I go over this in my head, I can't. Like, it's just not going through. Oh, that's right. Because... Oh, that's it. She actually came out at the crime scene and she dropped her brooch there. Which means she was in the room. Please let this be right. Please let this be right, or else we're gonna lose half our health bar for no reason. Oh, yes, I got it right. Yes! Woo! Lemoire, do you happen to remember this brooch? Oh, the brooch! We saw that yesterday. Did we not? It was found at the scene. It was found at the scene, Your Honor. And you're bringing this up now. Why? I thought we had already determined when that was dropped. So did I. But we hadn't. Take another look at the video. Yeah, I can see the spark in his guitar. And she's wearing the brooch there. Yeah. That's what I figured. You can see that she's wearing the brooch. Why is the bottom of the screen so flippy? So she is. Let's look a bit later. And she doesn't have the brooch on anymore. Oh, one of you guys at a very early point in the case told me to take a good look at that brooch. And I don't understand what you meant till now. And now I get it. So, although I didn't remember your comment till after I solved the problem, thank you very much. But, yeah. What's really a spoiler now that I look at it? Whatever. What? The brooch? It's gone? What? Yes. The brooch disappeared in a short space of 20 seconds. And it takes a full minute to run from the stage to the backstage. Which means there can only be one explanation. The Lemoire we see before the Vanishing Act and the Lemoire we see after are two different people. What? Oh, that's the okay. Well, I mean, that's a conclusion I could have come to normally, but I didn't think that way. Once again, a lot of the things in this case are just... It's not badly done, I won't say, but it's just odd. Like, you have to have a very specific mindset going down this case. A very specific logical mindset. And what my thought is that we're going to go somewhere on from the brooch and that's not going to matter. But, I was more focusing on the fact that it was dropped in that one room. So, I thought maybe we just thought about the fact that it had fallen in the room, saying that Lemoire had been in the other room, and we'd move on from there. But no, it's actually the fact that there are two different Lemoires, and one is wearing the brooch, and the other one is not. What? The brooch was found on the floor of the crime scene. And not just on the floor, but on the floor directly beneath the air vent. Lemoire, tell me, did you drop the brooch on your way from the stage to backstage, at the very moment you witnessed the crime? Yes, I think I did. Order! Prosecutor Gavin! From your expression, I gather you had no idea this was the case, Sir Judge. I, of course, knew about it. What? Don't get me wrong, I wasn't hiding it. It just never occurred to me that the switch and the shooting took place at the same time. So, I was right? I was right for once? Ah! Just starts flipping out. It's like, Apollo, just calm down. I was right, so there was a switch? There was. Just before the stage's tower rose, Lemoire was replaced. While we're on the subject, just who is this replacement Lemoire? Why, the man behind the illusion, Valent Graham. What? What? Oh my goodness, what is he, like the ultimate makeup artist or something? Jesus! What? That's nuts. How is that even possible? Like, the facial structure's the same too. You can't... But, what? Whatever. He must have, like, super assistants or something. It was Graham Rye? That's quite the illusion, but I still don't get one thing.
Yes?
The switch happened before the tower rose, correct? So you weren't the one on the stage.
That's right.
But this, fake Lamoire is still singing. And she's pretty good. That's true. Come on, Apollo. That's an easy one. Oh, it's because... Is it because the actual Lamoire is wearing the earpiece thing the whole time? And that's why she can sing regardless? They were just... Oh, they were playing a recording. That works too. They were just playing a recording, Apollo. How can you be so stupid? The Gaviniers aren't some kind of air guitar band, Fraulein. Oh, you mean I'm wrong? Oh, I was right. Take that right there, Trucy. Take it. Shut up, Zeno. You barely ever get anything right. You take forever to solve these cases. Okay. When we play a live show, we play live, no recordings. Perhaps you can explain, Lamoire.
Very well.
Yes. Do tell and add it to your testimony, please. Oh, I think this is the final testimony for this section.
I had to keep singing, even while I moved.
The contradiction between Lamoire's testimony and the video. Unraveling an illusion can't be so different from solving a normal case, right? Sorry, Apollo, I'm not telling. Not even if you make one of those puppy dog. Oh, it just goes back to the old one, okay. Oops, I skipped too far. But there's the contradiction of the fact that she dropped her earpiece while she was singing. And she was singing, sorry if I sound like I'm stuttering right now, but she was singing the whole time and she dropped her earpiece while she was doing it. So that wouldn't make sense, but I think there's a different problem with that. Let's just, I don't know, I'll press this statement, I guess? Because I don't have the health to just run around and be like, this is it, this is it, this is it. It's like, you're wrong, Apollo. Apollo, who is this? Does she even have anything to do with the case? Murder, 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 murder. Maybe?
Oh my god, she has the same voice as me.
Apollo,
is it great? There's
Where'd
like two of me now. We
Where'd
can do
I
everything
go?
we ever wanted.
Oscar,
We can
I
go
lost
eat
your
pizza,
cell phone and your
Dulce.
wallet.
You were singing? Yes.
Mr. Gavin expressed a dislike for recordings.
So I used this. Oh, so I was right. I was right the whole time. Wait, so you were singing the whole time? Even when you were crawling above the ceiling towards the backstage?
Why should it matter what I sing when everywhere I go is the same darkness?
Oh my goodness. Like, that's the... Like, is your goal just to make everyone in court sad all the time?
Why does it matter when there's only darkness, and only darkness all the time? Darkness, darkness, darkness.
But if you were singing while you were walking...
That's right, wouldn't the shooter and victim have heard? She was singing right over their heads after all.
That is right.
That is right.
Are you sure? You have to be pretty hard of hearing to miss someone singing in the ceiling. Once again, we come back to the state of the crime scene. What state?
I know what he means.
Oh yeah. The speaker was playing too loud, the music to hear her singing in there.
That old speaker, Apollo.
The speaker?
That speaker was blaring at the time of the murder. That's for monitoring the stage from this room. I'm glad you remember this flashback, Apollo.
Monitoring?
It pipes in a real-time feed from the stage microphones. Useful for knowing when your set is coming up.
Satisfied? That dressing room was fitted with a large speaker playing a direct feed from the stage. At my request, actually. So Lamoire singing in the ceiling sounded just like Lamoire singing over the speaker. Ingenious, her voice was hidden by her voice. Lamoire?
I have just remembered something.
Do tell.
When I heard the noise, the gunshots, yes? It startled me, so I stopped singing.
What?
I forgot the words I was supposed to sing.
The song stopped?
Thankfully, it was the very beginning of the second verse, so not many would notice.
Forehead, that mixing board I lent you, where is it?
The mixing? Huh?
That machine, Apollo. The one that breaks music into tracks. God, you're stupid. Oh, this. Yeah, I completely forgot about it. I was just carrying it around in my pocket. Oh, is it because Darian messed up or whatever that she thought it was different? Glasses clavier looks so cool. Just gotta say. The song does stop there. It does? I must have missed it. Look at the lyric sheet at the top of the second verse. See where it says pleasure, pleasure? Now listen again. When you stole away the keys, my heart held on to so tight. She's talking about my bike if you don't remember. Oh yeah. This is evidence indeed. I believe we are guilty of making a terrible mistake. The crime didn't happen during the third set. It happened during the second, during Lamour's ballad. If that's true, then no one on stage during the second set could have been the shooter. Which means that Darian Crescent could have done it. He wasn't on stage for the second set. Well, Prosecutor Gavin. Fascinating. I don't believe I've ever seen a trial turned around quite so thoroughly. I'm getting quite turned on, Apollo. Once again. No, not again. Not again. Apollo, what are you talking about? Trucy, you haven't seen what that man does. You haven't seen anything. Yet one problem remains. What's that, Prosecutor Gavin? Her forehead's theory does have a certain kind of logic to it. Yes, it's entirely based upon Lamour's testimony. Yes, is there a problem with this? Well, it's quite simple, though it pains me to say it. What if she's lying to protect the defendant? But you have no proof. All I'm saying is that the truth is yet unclear. Until we hear directly from the man himself. The man? You don't mean... Yes. Though he is a friend and a band member, Darian Crescent must take the stand. I see no other way. As someone with a new perspective on the case. As a suspect, to be frank. That takes a lot of guts, dude. Do you have to pull on your friend like that and be like, dude, are you a murderer, and be the one to put him in jail? Like, that's a tough piece of gum to chew. I don't know where I was going with that. Tough knife to swallow. Tough orange to cut. I don't know. Finally, the rat's coming out of his hole. And I'm ready to catch him. Darian Crescent, get ready for justice! This is a good time as any to pause for a brief recess. The prosecution will summon the witness. Have him here and ready by the time we begin. I'm the last man who needs to be reminded of what his duties are. Very well, the court is adjourned for a 15-minute recess. To be continued. Okay, so I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you guys for watching as always. This is a bit of a longer episode, mainly because I just want to get through the case next episode. But I do have a few questions for you, those of you who have made it this far. I was going to ask it at the beginning, but I decided not to. But I did a little consensus on Twitter, and basically what that was if I should play the original Case 5 of Ace Attorney, the first game, Case 5, since that's the only one I haven't played up to this point, at least up to this game. And should I play that before I play Edgeworth Investigations, or is it bad and irrelevant? Just tell me in the comment section, and if you know anything about it, then tell me if I should do it or not, and if it's worth it. That's basically it. So if you liked the video, please leave a like. It would help me out a very much a lot. That's great grammar. I did it good. Anyways, and if you want to become a member of the Dust Brigade today, just push that subscribe button. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Riding out.